So this is, of course, in the AO Dushai packet. Now, when we talk about referrals, referrals are our mainstay. They're our bread and butter. We love referrals. They give us things like AO reward points, which is credit for the sale. So every plus lead that you sell is going to give you dollar for dollar in AO rewards. And AO rewards you for going out and protecting these families every single day. I'm going to play you this video.
AO Rewards is an incredible incentive for just doing your job. For every plus lead dollar of ALP that you get AO Rewards points that you can redeem.
To purchase flights, you can use it to purchase tickets to Disneyland.
We have partnerships with Prada, Versace,
Bass Pro Shop for you hunters and outdoorsmen and women.
The thing about AO is they just have a way to just sweeten up the pot a little bit more. A plus lead is
for the family and friends of the families I've already met. So you already have a baseline relationship with these families. The numbers speak for themselves. I mean, why would you not want to work plus leads?
Going out there to the Netherlands, exploring their culture, it made me want to travel the world even more. And I got to even extend my trip after that to explore a little bit more of Europe.
I'm actually saving to be able to travel with my family. So that's my next big mission, is just to make sure I save them so I can take my family out for vacation.
It was so quick. They make it so easy. I mean, there's 5 things you probably have to fill out. And then 20 minutes after that, your flight is booked.
So I bought some designer tennis shoes. You just tell them your size, what it is that you want. And they were sent to my house within a week. It was seamless.
There's just so many things about this opportunity that cannot be touched by any other company ever.
And nowhere else will you find AO Rewards. It's just something exclusive that they've created for us.
I don't know if I've ever heard of a company that literally gives you money to go and travel and enjoy life outside of work.
If you guys aren't taking the opportunity and taking advantage of the AO Rewards, you're missing out big. I really don't know what you're doing. You got to go ahead and take advantage of it. AO, let's grow.
The goal of every single presentation is to get to the next one. And how do we do that? Well, we have a life cycle of a referral. So you're going to collect the referral from the client that you're sitting with, and then you're going to book that referral into a sit. So you're going to collect it, then you're going to book it, and then you're going to do the presentation, which is called a sit, and then you're going to sell it. Whether it sells or not, at that point, you've completed the circle because you've collected more referrals while you were sitting with that client. We want to goal for at least 6 referrals in a home. Reason that we do at least 6 is because 2 will not be interested, 2 will not qualify, but 2 of them are going to be basically auto enrolls. They're going to come with their checkbooks handy. So 2 are going to tell you to kick rocks, 2 won't qualify, and 2 are going to enroll. They also have a higher close ratio and a higher pickup rate. So company resources, our veteran leads, have a 10-to-1 pickup rate. These ones have a 3-to-1 pickup rate. So we're talking to more clients. They also have a higher close ratio. Our company average is about 30%. With plus leads, it's about 40%. The reason is that these referrals have been sponsored in by their loved ones and friends. We have warmed these leads up. We also have some tips for referral collection on this page. Get to know their network, build value in the no matter what benefits, explain why they are wanting and able to extend these benefits, and tell them who they're going to sponsor. We're not asking if they'd like to sponsor anyone. We're not asking if there's anyone they can think of that would make use of these benefits. We're going to tell them who to sponsor. And we're going to do that by using our pillars of collection referral, which is rapport, trust, confidence, and technology. We build that good foundation full of trust. We speak with confidence, and we use our technology, the tools that we are given. And you're also going to always love the one you're with. When you're with a client, they are the most important person in the world to you. You want to see them protected as much as possible. Now, how do we tell them who they're going to sponsor? That's our relationship tree. So every single time we're going to have the relationship tree, we're always going to ask about parents, children, siblings, grandparents, depending on their age, aunts or uncles, again, depending on their age, nieces, nephews, and cousins, and then friends, coworkers, and neighbors. So when they say, oh, I don't know, I can't think of anybody, no problem. What's your favorite sister's name? Or what's your oldest sibling's name? Who's your favorite aunt or uncle? Do you have a favorite niece or nephew? What's their name? And always, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? So when we look at taking referrals and doing our referral collection, that's going to start in our family information guide, right on the 5th page. Veterans to be notified. The VA is like the DMV. If your family does not have the right paperwork or know where to go, they end up in circles. That's exactly why they have us list out the most important veterans in your life, so your family knows who they can rely on when dealing with the VA. Who would be the most important veteran in your life? Who is the most important veteran in your life? So you're going to use that little pencil again, and then you're going to start taking names. Oh, that would be Jay. Okay, perfect. What's Jay's last name? His last name's Newt. Okay, Jay Newt. And he's your friend? Yes, he's my friend. Perfect. Does Jay have a significant other? Oh, yeah, it's Judy. Okay, Judy. Also Newt? Yes. And what branch of service was he in? He was an Army friend of mine. Okay, perfect. I'm sure you guys have a lot of good stories. Oh, we do. And where is he living these days? He's up there in Austin. Okay, Austin, Texas. We don't take zip codes. Zip codes are unnecessary information. And honestly, who remembers zip codes? I'm lucky if I remember a phone number. Speaking of phone numbers, we're not going to take phone numbers just yet. We're going to wait until we've finished referral collection before going back and getting numbers. The reason is that we're working predominantly with older people, and we don't want them fumbling around in their phone and possibly hanging up on us. All right, John, who's next? Who's next? There is little plus signs here, a little plus sign that's going to allow you to add additional names. So you can always add, and you're not going to stop until they say that they don't really know anyone else. With veterans, most of them have quite a few veteran buddies. Then on the next page, we have persons to be notified. Now, this section is one of the most important. The VSO is concerned unclaimed benefits will exist due to outdated or incorrect beneficiary information when a veteran passes away. This section acts as an extended beneficiaries list. God forbid something were to happen. Who is the first person responsible for you and Mary? Oh, that would be our daughter, Rachel. All right, Rachel. Also Smith? For now. All right, perfect. Daughter. Now, with a relationship, you can actually add in anything. So if they say mother-in-law, you can type in mother-in-law. You don't have to use the predetermined drop downs. All right, does Rachel have a significant other? No, not yet. Okay, perfect. And where is she living? She's still at home. She's in Dallas. Okay, Dallas, Texas. Excellent. Who's next? Who's next? Use that family relationship tree. Get as many names as possible. Then we have the additional emergency contacts. So the VSOs know that dealing with the loss of a loved one is very emotional and difficult. This is why they recommend listing additional emergency contacts to ensure that your family has people around them who they can trust and who have a clear state of mind. So John and Mary, who is that for you? Oh, well, I don't know. Mary, I'm sure you have a best friend. What's your best friend's name? And go from there. The reason we want the emergency contacts, we want to paint a picture why these people are important. So as far as emergency contacts, your friends, those are the people that are going to be there for your family. They've probably watched your children grow up and been around for years. These people have your explicit trust. These are the ones that are going to be there holding Rachel's hand when Mary's in the hospital, bringing them coffee as they wait for the doctor. As far as neighbors, who's going to mow the lawn or take in the newspaper? Who is the neighbor that can let your dogs out when you're in the hospital? Or close your garage door because you forgot to close it while you were on the way out to get to your husband who just had an accident. And coworkers, What happens if you don't show up to work for a few days? Your boss is probably going to let you go, right? So coworkers are important to keep that line of communication open with your boss. Let the boss know what's going on. Maybe they can even bring you some work at the hospital if you're up for it. That's how we show value in these names, because this is their family information guide. This isn't our information guide. It's their information guide. We're doing them a favor by filling it out. All right, again, I'm not taking the phone numbers yet. Once we get to the No Veteran Left Behind program, this is where we're going to start taking phone numbers. So as we wrap up your No Matter What benefits, the VSOs found that only 1 in 200 veterans are aware of this program. They want to ensure that every veteran knows their benefits and has access to the same information. The VSO is concerned that there can be a lot of inconsistencies in what veterans are provided after they're discharged, especially with over 1,700 veterans passing away every day. That is over 50,000 families looking for these benefits every month. Unfortunately, they usually try to find them after something has already happened, which leaves a huge burden on your family. The VSOs need your help. Can they count on you to support their efforts to protect and educate our nation's veterans? Perfect. Go ahead and pull out your phone. Go into the contacts and let's start with A and read off the first and last names of everyone you see who is a veteran. Veterans like helping other veterans. Not everyone knows about this. A lot of times they don't read their mail. Some don't go online. Not everyone knows about this program. So we get our client to pull out their phone, go into their contacts, and start listing off the name and phone number of all of the veterans in their phone. Here's where we're going to start taking phone numbers. Once we're done with this, we're going to close it off and we're going to go back to the family information guide. All right, now John and Mary, we didn't grab those phone numbers for all of the people in your family information guide. So let's get that filled out so that Rachel doesn't have to worry. What is Jay's phone number? And they're going to tell you 555, whatever. But it's important that we go back and we clean this up. Get all those phone numbers. What's Rachel's current phone number? So whatnot and whatever, right? So that there's always going to be updated numbers on this file. Once we're done that, now we're going to go into the sponsorship program. So we didn't really talk about the sponsorship program very much. I'm going to break it down for you right away or right now so that you know how to use it. At the top, of course, we have John's information. What I like to do is I like to add both of them. So when you're talking to John and Mary and say Mary gives you her best friend's name, now we know that instead of talking to Mary's best friend and saying, I talked to your friend John yesterday, we know it's Mary's friend. We're going to say, I talked to your friend Mary Smith yesterday. On the side here, we have the big circle with an I in it. When we click on that, it's going to bring up what that veteran is sponsoring their people for. What are their people going to get by coming in and meeting with us? Next to the big I is the sponsorship receipt. We're going to talk about that again in a few minutes. As we go in here, we're going to start activating our clients, our plus leads. We're not going to ask, we're just going to start activating the checkboxes. Everyone you mentioned in the family information guide will automatically receive access to the veteran legacy benefits we just covered. And they will also have access to the permanent benefits that we're going to discuss in just a minute. Aside from the veterans that you provided, the VSOs have authorized you to extend your benefits to those closest to you, even if they didn't serve. Now, the VSOs recommend that they need to be at least 21 years old. They have to be either employed or retired and in good standing with the law. Lastly, because we don't solicit veterans and their families, the VSOs require your permission to contact them so that they can receive the same benefits and information. Other than the people listed in your family information guide, who do you want to extend these to next? We have a plus sign here too, so you can add additional names in here. When you're adding the names, under type, you have your sponsored veteran referral, your veteran family referral, and you have training. While you're in training, please click training. Branch of service, if they were in the military, you can select their branch of service. You also have notes. So for example, if John and Mary tell us that their friend Bob has 3 kids, I am going to put 3 children under 18. This is helping my future self. Instead of having to write notes in my notebook, I can write them here on the lead itself. Then it's a permanent note and everyone who ever works that lead will know. Only put things in here that your client tells you because they're watching you do it. Another important thing to put into the notes would be if they only have a landline instead of a cell phone. Then you're going to fill out name, city, state, phone number, how they're related to the sponsor, and their significant other. You can put in their occupation if you want. You don't have to, though. It's not required. The heart, you guys have all been working with Mobile Planet, so you know about the stars, how you can star certain leads. When you click on this heart, it does exactly that. It stars it in Mobile Planet so that you already have your list of people to start with first. The next one here is where we're going to go into our 3-way texting. So we have the group notification first, then we have the sponsor receipt, and then we have the top sponsor receipt. So with the first text, when you go in it, it's going to send you this text message. It's going to send it to you, not to your client. So what you have to do is you're going to copy the 2 phone numbers that get sent with that text, and you're going to make a group chat on your phone. Then you're going to copy the text and paste it into that group chat and click send. Once they've sent it, you're going to talk to your client and make sure that they say thank you. This is in our packet. There's a big write-up on the 3-way texting. So your first text, it's going to go to your phone. You are going to copy it, make a group text message with those 2 people, forward that message, and then hit send. Coach your client to reply thank you to every text. This is going to provide you with a lot of credibility. It's also going to warm up your lead for you. Your second text, which is right next to it, is the lead receipt. So this is going to get sent right from AIL to your client. So we have this one right here. It's going to send them a picture of what they're going to be getting. It's going to come from AO and it's going to go to your client. Call Jolene for faster service. All you have to do is hit send and it will send it. And your last one, of course, is the sponsor receipt for John and Mary. This one is going to tell John and Mary what their clients are getting, and it's going to come straight from AO as well. It's going to tell them who they've sponsored in case they have any questions or in case maybe they missed someone. So this is what your third text will look like, the one that's going to John and Mary. Now, when you're doing these texts, I want you to do them in a row. Start with the 3-way text, go through all of your clients. Once you get down to the last lead, those texts should start arriving with your client's cell. When they start arriving, remember, reply thank you. Then you're going to take all the sponsor receipts and go down in a line. And finally, you have the last text at the top. That's how we're going to do our texting. Now, the texting is a requirement on your test. You will not be able to move forward with your test unless you are able to complete a 3-way text with your upline. Now, it also talks about setting up a Zoom domino. A Zoom domino is where you set up your next appointment while you're still in with your client themselves. So if I'm sitting in with John and Mary and they're texting Rachel to say, John and Mary, who is the most important person on this list for you? Well, of course, that's Rachel. Perfect. Why don't you give Rachel a call and I'll talk to her. So they call her. Hey, Rachel, this is Jolene. I'm with AO. I'm talking to your mom and dad here, and they're saying nothing but the best about you. Rachel, they really want you to get these benefits. So I want to arrange for you to have a Zoom appointment with me. Are you going to be available this evening? Perfect. Why don't you come into the Zoom right now so we can meet, and then we'll get you in right as soon as I'm done with your parents. Get them into your Zoom, do a face to name so they see you, you see them, build some rapport, and then let them know that out of respect to John and Mary's time, you can't get them their benefits just yet, but you're going to be giving them a call as soon as they're done. That's how we do a Zoom domino, because I'll tell you, I'd rather do a Zoom domino than have to call another 10 people to get another appointment. This way you can roll from one appointment to the next, to the next, to the next. While you're in training, always delete your leads. If you do not delete the leads, they are going to end up going into your lead inbox, and we don't want that to happen.